Welcome to your source for research, innovation, news, insights, and commentary. This is Research Business Daily Report, and we're proudly sponsored today and this week by Research Now, with the industry's most comprehensive mobile research platform. It's ideally suited for both custom qualitative and quantitative research. The marketing, technology, and targeting firm Distillery recently presented a paper, and it contained a lot of important evidence about the value of mobile clicks, but probably not in the way you think. I think it's fair to say that surprisingly, they found that mobile advertising clicks are not good for judging mobile advertising performance. After 2 weeks collecting mobile advertising impressions, Distillery study authors Gilad Barish, Brian D'Alessandro, Claudia Perlich, Lauren Moores, and Troy Rader reported that clicks on advertising as an ad performance indicator is little more than a fallacy. On the other hand, and on a positive vein, they said that those clicks are very appropriate to predict online brand engagement. Next, we've spoken briefly with analytics experts over the past 2 weeks, and it's led me to decide that we need to focus more time and attention on trends in that area than we have. I've confirmed from various sources that corporations are throwing themselves headfirst into the analytics arena. They're convinced of extraordinary importance and great potential value ahead for them. But at the same time, I'm hearing from my sources that with few exceptions, companies do not at all have a handle on how to use all their data to make a full-blown analytics commitment and to become, therefore, a competitive difference-making business driver. So we're going to explore the hows and the whys of how that might happen in upcoming RBDRs and also in RFL's 3 leading market research newsletters. Stay tuned. Moving on, online communities have become as popular in our industry as just about any research innovation, and yet KL Communications EVP of Business Development Sean Holbert has told me that online communities are stuck. They're stuck in branded community settings when they could be doing much more and going much further. What else can they do? Sean offered these improvement ideas.
Got a strong opinion about how to make online communities better, and the way that you would like to go about it is through what you call co-creation, specifically, online co-creation.
Right.
Give us a little bit of detail about what you've got in mind.
We've been working in online communities for a long time, and they seem to be getting a bit stale and a bit reactive in a lot of cases. So what we want to do is actually flip that model. Instead of building communities by audience makeup, actually build it by objective and have very results-driven, flexible community structures that actually allow people to engage with brands from the very start of ideation all the way through concept evaluation.
So you're talking about taking an online community that typically is for, let's say, a particular brand, and to instead of engaging it through a brand interest, to get participants to look at it and get involved for other reasons, and be a little bit. Give us an example of what those other reasons might be.
One of the ways you can get what that we do is we ask people to do a lot of product creation or service creation. So what we do, instead of just asking people about their experiences or to react to ideas that we have, it's actually putting consumers in a more proactive role of saying, okay, what would you create for people that you know that would be better than anything else they can get right now? And then explain why, sell it. So what we're talking about here isn't a group of like 10 or 12 people in a room. We're talking about 300 to 400 people who have knowledge and relevance of a topic. So we're not talking about just screening for quote unquote creatives, people who pass some modified personality test. But generally what we see is creativity in more of a pyramid style, so across levels, where your creative people at the top will be much better at generating new ideas, kind of getting out there a little bit. But your middle to bottom of the pyramid are actually much better at iterating on those and developing feature sets and articulating benefits that perhaps the top of that pyramid wasn't. And really that diversity and collaboration is what makes co-creation.
Okay. What's wrong with online communities the way they are now?
From a lot of corporate researchers that I've spoken to, there are two main issues. One is that they are not as longitudinal as they think they're going to be when they launch them. So there's a life cycle to these things. A lot of people tell me they've gotten the most value out of their community within that first 6 to 12 months.
And a lot of companies tend to have multiple communities that kind of come and go, right?
And that's the other issue they have, is that, okay, I've got this brand whose main audience is millennials. I've got this other brand whose main focus is moms with kids. I've got 6 communities. I mean, you're spending however many millions of dollars on these things. There's a frustration that there isn't a way to really engage consumers as a whole, but segment and target your research and insights needs within that structure.
Okay. How long can you really maintain an online community through co-creation?
When you look at community, if you're talking about the actual infrastructure for it, it lasts indefinitely. And the way that happens is you're able to bring in new people, again, based on knowledge and relevance, but into that same structure. They can be in there at the same time, but be segmented out based on their need. They can simply reuse the infrastructure once another session has ended. So it gives you the flexibility to just keep shuttling, think of it more as a revolving door rather than a fixed group of people that you're bouncing ideas off of. We did a study a while back for a spirits manufacturer. They were interested in trying to learn more about how people shop for spirits with the rise of flavored spirits. So flavored vodkas, whiskeys, they're all becoming quite trendy, and they wanted to see how that impacted decision-making and shopping in the aisle, in the store. So we did some research on it, and we kind of got some information, but then what we did is bring people into an ideation session where we actually said, okay, you've just been hired to develop the spirits aisle or section of your store, and it's going to be the best place in town to shop for spirits. What do you do? So we got a lot of different types of ideas, which were really, some people were actually uploading little planograms, which was pretty impressive. Other people were just kind of explaining answers or sharing some photos of current stores and saying, here's what I would do differently. One of the great things that we learned from that is a lot of people were focused on how to better present premium spirits. The ideas were all different, the solutions were all different that people had, but the underlying reason was typically premium spirits are up on the top shelf. They can't reach it well, and they're afraid of knocking bottles over and breaking them. It's embarrassing. They don't want to ask for help, so they buy something else. And that seems okay. It seems apparent. The client told me later, we've done a lot of barriers to purchase research, or just general, shopper research around premium brands. Nobody has ever said that. So the incentive process is really more of a gamification model for the users, and it's tiered. So you reward people not just for participation, and that's typically how MROCs work. You take this poll, you get points. Participate in this discussion, you get points. What we're doing is not just rewarding activity, but rewarding quality participation. So as you're updating your idea, as it's generating more feedback, more comments, as it's being ranked higher, people are liking it more, you're actually earning bonus points, you're gaining status within the community. So you're actually recognized in the community as being a leader, a thought leader, for example, in that group. So your actual payout is tiered based on your status level, and your status level is based more heavily on quality of participation rather than just quantity of activity.
Our thanks to Sean for his time, his commitment, and his consideration. And here's how you can reach him. That's your Research Business Daily Report, sponsored by Research Now, with the industry's most comprehensive mobile research platform, ideally suited for custom qualitative and quantitative research. Mobile is hot, and it's happening right now for many companies, but there are still many organizations that are slowly transforming their surveys to mobile-ready versions. If you're like many of them and would like to find out how to make your survey mobile-ready right now, Research Now offers a solution. It's a complimentary Tuesday, August the 5th webinar. With their help, we've created a link to help you sign up for it. It's www.mobilenowsurveys.com. Have a great research day and remainder of your research week. We hope you have a great weekend, and please be back to join us on Monday.